In this one, what I want to do is I want to explain to you why entrepreneurs who cold approach print fuck you money. Because what I've found to be true in my own life, in my own entrepreneurial journey, and having now helped over 200 men remove their social blocks so they can stop feeling like closet heterosexuals, is your level of income will never exceed your level of self-development. And for me, daytime cold approach, so the ability to walk over to a woman in the middle of the day, not giving a flying fuck what these NPCs are going to think of you, and starting a conversation, this is the most aggressive form of self-development. But you might be in a position right now where you're building a business, maybe you're creating content on social media, you're spending a lot of your mental bandwidth optimizing your funnel, playing around with OpenClaw, locking yourself in a room for 12 hours a day because you've been convinced that spending more time on your business, working on your business, is the way to scale your business. But what I've found to be true with all the successful guys who I've worked with is a lesser known, non-obvious way to improve your ability to make money is through daytime cold approach. Because for me, seduction is sales. Yeah, when you're out here and you're approaching women in broad daylight, when lots of people are watching, when you are desensitizing yourself to rejection, you are learning how to transfer certainty, which is what sales is. I'm working with a guy at the moment, a successful business owner who's based in Dubai. Within a month of us working together, he's now going on dates with women he used to think were out of his league. His business is performing better. He's attracting higher quality clients. He's attracting higher quality opportunities. And the reason why this has happened is because he's taken a sledgehammer to his social resistance. He's taken a sledgehammer to his closet heterosexuality. Because when you're outside, and let's say you go out today, and let's say you do 10 direct daytime cold approaches, yeah? So you walk over to attractive women in busy public areas, despite the resistance, despite the hesitation, despite the compliance, and you give them strong, unapologetic, hard-hitting compliments. What's gonna happen is you're gonna enter this social God mode. You're gonna enter what I call godly frequency, where you're able to experience social success in advance. So by going out and dedicating 90 minutes of your day, just treat it like a gym workout. It's like bicep curls for your bank balance, right? You walk outside, you do 10 daytime approaches in 90 minutes. By doing that, you're gonna enter godly frequency. And then when it comes to closing high ticket deals, then when it comes to leading your team, then when it comes to creating content online, you're already gonna feel as though you've experienced the hardest thing in advance. Everything else is easier than doing approaches. And what usually happens when guys are working with me one-on-one is when they have mastered the one social skill that most entrepreneurs don't have the balls to attempt, which is daytime cold approach, they look at the rest of their lives and they think to themselves, where else am I playing it safe? Where else could I expand? Where else could I evolve? One of my other guys who I worked with a couple of years back, Baltus, when we first started working together, Baltus always had perceptions of becoming an entrepreneur. He wanted to run his own business. He wanted to be able to make Wi-Fi money, travel the world, be location independent. But when he first reached out to me, he was a manager at a hotel chain in Belgium. And his ceiling was capped on what he thought was possible for him. And then by working with me, taking him through my social renaissance, once he realized he could become a socially sovereign savage who could get dates on demand in every city that he visited, once he unlocked the decentralized skill set of the Awake 1%, which is daytime cold approach, he left his job. He handed in his notice. He got a job in remote high-ticket sales, which allowed him to make more money.
My life changed so much, not only on a dating point of view, but my professional life. Approach anxiety solved. Dating issues solved. Change jobs since Barcelona solved. Having a higher income solved. Overall mental health and well-being direction in life because of the self-esteem boost that you get from learning cold approach solved.
So if you're an entrepreneur and you're tired of outsourcing the future of your bloodline to an algorithm, because let's be real, every entrepreneur who's on dating apps, all their profiles look the fucking same, right? AI is completely flattened the playing field. You might think you're speaking to Veronica from Warsaw, you're actually speaking to Kevin Nguyen in Ho Chi Minh City, right? So anybody can fake a profile online, anybody can fake a lifestyle. It's almost impossible to stand out in the online digitalized marketplace. And also, dating apps are making you soft, right? In every other area of your life, you are taking an active approach with your fitness, your discipline, your business. When it comes to dating, entrepreneurs like to take a passive approach. And it's not because they're optimized, it's because they're scared. They're scared of being rejected. They're scared of not receiving love from the feminine. They're scared of building their value over decades. And then, what if my best still isn't enough? What if I've optimized my entire life and this woman who I cold approach today, what if she rejects me? And this is why a lot of entrepreneurs who are doing well in business, they don't see daytime cold approach as an opportunity. They see it as a threat. They see it as a threat to the identity that they've worked so hard to build. So if you want to separate yourself from every other entrepreneur who's simping behind a screen, taking a shit at 11 p.m. in his Dubai apartment, his carefully curated crypto portfolio, hoping to get lucky online with a mediocre match, then what I've done is I've put together a free course. It's called Conversation Killer. First link below this video. It's a completely free course. You don't need to pay me a penny for it. But this is a course that I put together in 2022, 2 years after I started Daytime Approach. And it's a course that I give to all of my clients before we start working together one-on-one. And oftentimes guys are like, Christian, why do you give away all this stuff for free? What's the catch? What's the gimmick? The reason why I give all this stuff away is because I give away information, I charge money for implementation. So when guys reach out to work with me one-on-one, I already want them to have the foundations in place. Conversation Killer lays these foundations.
Since working with Christian, I have eradicated bad habits, exploded my sales career, and genuinely been on more dates through Cold Approach than I can even count.